Okay, everyone. So lesson two here, it's doing a lot of what lesson one did, but then it's going to start to transition to being off of grid paper. So we're just going to hit a few of these. Tomorrow, you'll simply finish the classwork, but again, try one like it's an entrance slip. So put me on pause there as we get through this. So we'll hit question one that's here. Again, try it here. What we're simply counting is that we are 1, 2, 3 wide. All right. So because we're 3 wide, and then we are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tall. Yeah. So 5 times 3, hello, 15. So it does ask that we kind of get our work down here. So I'm doing a 5 times a 3. We're getting a 15 for our answer. Labeling wise, technically, since we don't know if it's inches, feet, meters, all right, so we end up calling it units. And because it's how many squares in there, technically we say 15 units squared, so which would mean to the second power. All right, we'll kind of clean that up a little bit here. But yeah, and that's why area of with units of measurement is squared, because it's how many squares end up putting in there. Man, that just did not work out. Okay, anyway. So yeah, let's skip on down here a little bit. So let's hit something like, ooh, let's get into question number 5. So in question number 5 here, because it's a triangle, remember, we're going to try to make it into a rectangle. And again, pause if you want to try to solve this by yourself first. So the idea here is we're going to kind of you can see the full rectangle. It might not look like it's half the amount, but if you go to where it hits the top and you go ahead and you kind of draw it in from there, you can see that there's half the amount, it's half the amount. So again, we're just going to figure out how wide we are. So we are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we are 6 wide. We are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 tall. So we will, for a rectangle, we'll go ahead and do our 6 times our 7. We'll get 42, but we'll recognize that it's a triangle. So we will cut it in half, which means it's 21. So it's 21 units and then squared. So to that second power. Now it's not showing up very well. But yeah, that's the idea behind it is make it into a rectangle, find the area of the rectangle and simply cut it in half. It'll work for any of our triangles that we're dealing with here. So let's go down a little bit and kind of watch how this leads into the rest of lesson 2. And so here we can see that we are asking to find the area and the perimeter. So if we remember from area, again, number of squares, we can see it's 8 wide, it's 5 tall. We can just do 8 times 5 to get our 40. So for our area, it's 40. We can see we are in centimeters. And then again, it is squared because it's how many squares. The idea behind it is if we drew all these squares out, there would be 40 of them. Perimeter, all right, perimeter, remember we are simply adding up all the sides to find the distance around the shape. So we have an 8 plus a 5, but don't forget the opposite side is an 8, the opposite side is a 5. So we've got to make sure we get all 4 sides in. So perimeter not add up just the numbers you see, perimeter add up all the sides. This shape has 4 sides. I should be adding 4 numbers together here. So 8 plus 5 is your 13. Another 13 would give you a 26. Now, perimeter is not squares. It's just measurement. So it's a distance. So it's just your 26 centimeters that you're looking at. We're going to do one more here. We're going to hold off on that parallelogram here. We're going to look at this triangle. So I'm going to actually take care of perimeter first. You should, by the way, have a right angle symbol that's in there. So with your perimeter, we're adding up the sides. The triangle throws 3 sides, 3 plus 7 plus 6. So yeah, so 16 inches this time. And then for your area, again, you could go about this 2 ways. The more formal version, and what we're going to start leaning into, we actually do something that's called base times height, and then we divide it by 2. So the idea here is the base and the height are always going to be at the right angle symbol. So because of that, we can see that we're touching the 3, we're touching the 6. I know that doesn't look like 3, that doesn't look like 6, that's there, but one of the emphases we're trying to make here is that you can't simply go off of looks like. You do need to trust the information that is in front of you. So the other way of kind of going about it here is, well, let's finish this off here. Is we know what the base and the height are because again, it's whoever touches the right angle symbol. So yeah, in this case, 6 times 3 and we'll divide it by 2. So 6 times 3 is 18. 18 divided by 2 is 9. So we are at 9 inches squared. What you could end up seeing is you could end up drawing in the rest of the square, actually the rest of the rectangle. So there's your line that's in there. Remember that 7 is going with that particular line that's there. So we can see that it's 6 tall. We can see it's technically 3 wide, even though it doesn't look like it. Again, we can find the area of that rectangle, but since we only want this portion of it, that's why we are chopping in half. So it's the base times height. We are going to divide it by your 2 that we're dealing with. We'll get into the parallelogram tomorrow when you finish the classwork. But really, that's all that we need you to take care of with your notes that are there, and then along with kind of doing a few of these practice problems here together. Again, tomorrow you'll finish up the classwork. I'll send another video where I will go through, all right? Ooh, lesson 3. I will go through the classwork for you on a video. Remember, you also have your answer sheet you can make reference to. There you go.